Can I take a decent seascape shot with this $50 budget DSLR camera? This Canon 400D Rebel XTI is a 16-year-old 10 megapixel camera, and most people that own this camera have probably put it away in a cupboard or a drawer or got rid of it by now. But in this video, I aim to prove that you can use this 16-year-old 10 megapixel camera to take really decent coastal shots, which is exactly where I am now on the south coast of England. I'm a couple of miles east from Lulworth Cove and Durnell Door on the Dorset coast, and this is part of the Jurassic Coast, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Not only that, but this area is an area of special scientific interest, not just because of the fossils you find strewn across this coast, but also because of the sea life, especially the special type of seaweed that you get here that you don't get almost anywhere else on the British coast. The nice thing about this camera is that it's so simple. It's got no bells and whistles. It's got no particular features. In fact, the best thing about this camera is that it's got a 12-second timer. Apart from that, it's got nothing else, no other special things. And that's what makes it brilliant. And I'm hopeful I can use the simplicity of this camera to take some really nice shots around this coastline. So I'm going to do a portrait shot of this pillbox right in the sort of middle of this stream going towards the sea. Currently I've got the camera set at 1/500 a second, f5.6 and base ISO, which is 100. I'm just going to take this shot and let's see what this comes out like. I've got the 12-second timer on. I've got it all set up, so I'll press the button and in 10 seconds it'll be done. That's my first effort in the bag. We can have a look at that on the screen now. This whole area of Dorset is such a nice place to visit. And talking about nice, you could be wonderfully nice and hit the like on this video. That would be amazing. And that will just prove how wonderful you are. Thank you very much if you have already. The great thing about these DSLRs, or most cameras, come with a kit lens, and this comes with an 1855, and it's ideal. It's a really nice range to be able to try to take a photo of that waterfall either from a distance or close up, and you can amend your focal length accordingly. So I think that is amazing. If you've got one of these cameras, then I think you're doing well, because the options you have are brilliant. Even though there's no bells, no whistles, it's just a case of just changing your settings. You don't have any fancy features. It doesn't matter, because you can hopefully still get a nice shot of this waterfall with this camera. This waterfall offers a really nice photographic challenge. What do? Do I take a shot with a really slow shutter speed and try and get a smoothed out waterfall, or I take a really fast shutter speed and try to get one that's freezing the motion? That's a really interesting point. I might take a couple. I really quite like the rocks in the foreground. I think when this tide goes out a bit more, then I will try to get the better shot with these rocks in the foreground. But I think I'm going to set the camera up now, take a slightly wider shot of this waterfall, and then when the tide goes out, I'll take another one and try to get one a bit more head on. But I think this is going to look a really nice waterfall. In this instance, I've got shutter priority. I've got 1/15 of a second to really slow the motion to get a nice smooth flow of water. That's given me f16 at 1/15 of a second, base ISO. I'm on a 10-second timer. I'm just going to press the button and see how that turns out. There it goes. There it is on the back of camera, if you could see that. And we'll have a look at that right now. I've climbed up this hill to get to Clavell Tower, which was built in 1831 as a folly. And I think it makes a great backdrop as a really nice picture for this Canon. And I'm hopeful in this video, I'm just going to reiterate the fact that you don't really need a super megabucks camera to get nice pictures. You can use this 16-year-old Canon to get all the pictures you need. And if you're starting out with photography, or if you're moving from your phone to a camera, that's all you need to start off with. You may soon want to move up, but all you need is a camera just like this to get you started. For this shot, I've gone for a portrait image. In the foreground was where that tower once was before it was moved recently. and that gives me some nice curves in the ground to make it a nice image. And if there's any cars or anything in the bottom of the image, I'll crop those out afterwards. So just going to take this now. I've got 1/400th of a second, f5.6 base ISO. Once again, it's on a 10-second timer, just to make sure the camera doesn't shake. It's completely still because it's quite windy at the top of this hill. The views at the top of this hill are magnificent. There it is. There's a picture of Clavel Tower. For this image, I'm braving the tide, and I'm going to use my ND8 filter. I'm going to hold it over the front of the lens, and I'm going to try to get a slow shutter speed over this natural groin, over these rocks. And hopefully I can do it using this Canon camera. If you're enjoying this video and getting something out of it, why not watch my Canon 400D review video, and I'll leave a link up there somewhere so you can have a look at it, because there I go into a little bit more detail about this Canon and what you can do with it.